Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we mentioned one poll this morning that showed that Kate Forbes was more popular with the general public in Scotland than John Swinney. Not surprising. Most people think Swinney is weird and a failure and someone not to be trusted, basically. Whereas Kate Forbes is seen as, yes, she's SNP and she's still a bit, out there with beliefs, but she is at least sane. She is sensible. She comes across as a much nicer person. Whether she is or not, of course, is another matter, but she comes across that way. The perception is that she's better. And, of course, with politics, perception is all. Now, there has been another entirely separate poll that has been announced. The results have been announced today. And we're going to take a look at that because it's got something which Humza will not like as he's preparing to leave, as he's packing his bags, phoning up Pickford's. Can you get the wee delivery, the moving lorry here? We're going to need it in about 8 weeks' time, or however long it takes, because he's not going anywhere really quickly, but he will be on the way. So it won't please him, which is good because that means it pleases everyone else. But it goes to show how useless he's been for the last 13 months. Here goes. The majority of SNP voters believe Humza Yousaf made no difference to Scotland while First Minister. SNP voters, right? Not just people at large. Targeting the SNP voters thought he was rubbish. In a cruel parting blow to the outgoing First Minister, a new poll has shown that the majority of SNP voters also believe he should not have ended the Bute House agreement in the first place. Isn't that stunning? And yet, here's the thing. Who did this poll? It was Ipsos Mori, the in-house pollsters for the SNP. People who earn millions a year doing their job. You'd think they'd be a bit kinder to him and the party. But no, even they couldn't spin this as best they could. And they've had to go with Mr. Failure fails again. A new poll has shown that continuity candidate John Swinney is the preferred option to be the First Minister among SNP voters. We know this. However, it showed that non-SNP voters believe Kate Forbes to be the best candidate for the role. And we've covered that in a video earlier, so I'm not going to regurgitate. However, the research from Ipsos, this is the different poll, also showed that a majority, 60% of SNP voters actually believed that Humza Yousaf was wrong to end the Bute House agreement when he kicked the Scottish Greens out of government. So you cannot get over. No, it was the right thing to do, of course, but for the for the SNP, it wasn't. And when 60% of the voters say no, because they know that minority government is hard, I suppose. But he can't even do his own job in front of his own people. How big an absolute fail whale is Humza Yousaf? Anyway, it came the final act for the flop of a First Minister. Just 45% of non-SNP voters thought it was the wrong decision. What? Unbelievable. That's way higher than I thought it would be. Anyway, while it split on the Bute House decision, there was no dubiety in the polls about whether or not time was up for Yousaf, with a huge 81% saying it was time to go, while just 10% said it was the wrong call for him to go. 81%. Game's over, isn't it? And we've known it for some time that it was something like that. We've known for a long time it was an incredibly high amount of people wanting him to go, even within his own party. That's the key part of this. When you've got a high number within your own party saying it's time to go, you really should listen to them. Anyway, reflecting on Yousaf's time in office as First Minister, half the public, 51%, say he has made no difference to Scotland, while just 8% say he's changed Scotland for the better. 8. And 37% that he's changed it for the worse. So over 4 times say worse than better. Sounds about right. It is a blow for any perceived legacy that Yousaf himself may have thought he left. Oh, He's definitely left a legacy, just not a very good one. A legacy of failure. 60% of SNP voters feel he's made no difference to the country, while a quarter say he's changed Scotland for the worst. So 84% of Scotland, of SNP voters, say they cannot say he's improved things. That is stunning. That is an absolute stunning figure. When asked who would make the best First Minister out of a list of possible SNP contenders, Forbes has a 6-point lead over Swinney. 26% of the public say she would make the best First Minister, while 20% say Swinney. But SNP voters are again more likely to prefer Swinney, with 30% saying he would make the best First Minister, compared with 21% who say the same of Kate Forbes, and 14% who think Stephen Flynn would be the best First Minister. I think we need a 3-way fight. We absolutely do. A 3-way fight would open up the SNP, highlight the failures of this man, highlight everything that Kate Forbes said would happen has come true. She sat there 13, 14 months ago at the height of the last election saying about this man being a failure, saying he couldn't deliver, saying that he would make things worse. And now she can sit there and go, I hate to say I told you so, but... and then just point to the things she said 14 months ago. She seems to have a little bit of political acumen about her. Or maybe she just knows what a complete and utter tosser Humza Yousaf was, and forever shall be. I'll stop there. We'll come up and we'll finish. But God, it's funny, isn't it? 86% of your own party cannot say you've done anything for the betterment. Time to go. Coming up. He can't even fail properly, can he? He fails at failing. Humza Yousaf, a man who is so nondescript that even in failure people just go, meh. He's done nothing. And even his own side just go, nah. That's his true legacy. To be forgotten. Yesterday's man. The forgotten dustbin container. Yeah. Do you remember we had him for a year? He was no good, was he? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was rubbish, wasn't he? Whatever happened to him? Nobody knows. That's what he is. Destined to disappear. And I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.